Right, so in this video I'm going to have a look at the Junior Cert Maths Higher Level Paper 2 for 2017. This is the last question on this paper, question 12. So the diagram on the right shows a right angle triangle with a hypotenuse of length 10 units. Use trigonometry to find the length of the side marked X. Give your answer in surd form. So we've got to use trigonometry, so we've got to use sine, cos, tan. So in this case we have an angle here 60 degrees, we have an opposite, we have a hypotenuse, so that's going to be sine, the sine of an angle. So sine of 60 degrees is equal to x over 10. Now we know that it says you give your answer in surd form, so 60 degrees is one of these special angles, so we know that the sine of 60 degrees is root 3 over 2. So this is just going to be root 3 over 2. That's equal to x over 10. So that means x here is just going to be multiplied across by 10. So it's going to be 10 root 3 over 2. I just have to come over here. That gives me x is equal to, well, 10 divided by 2 is 5 root 3 units. Okay, so that's the first part of this question. Now the second part here is we've got a regular hexagon. That means a regular hexagon means it's a hexagon which has 6 sides, and regular just means that each side is the same length. So this is 10 units, 10 units, 10 units, and so on. The hexagon is divided into 6 equilateral triangles. So in other words, if that's 10, this is 10, this is 10, this is 60, 60, 60 degrees here. So the angles are all the same in here. Work out the area of the hexagon. Give your answer in the form a root 3. Now, what I'm going to do here is find the area of one of these triangles and then just multiply by 6. So how do I do that? Well, let's just take one of these triangles out first and draw it separately. So let's, oops. Okay, not great. Let's try again. Okay, more or less. Okay, just get rid of that bit. Right, so this is 10 units. This is 10 units here. We've 10 units at the bottom here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just split this up into a right angle triangle. So this is 5 units here. We know this is 60 degrees here. So this is 30 up here and 90 degrees down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of this triangle here. Now in order to do that, what I'm going to need to do is find the height. Remember, the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So we know the base is 10, but we don't know this height here. Let's call it x. So I'm just going to use Pythagoras' theorem to find out what x is. So I'm going to say 10 squared is equal to 5 squared plus x squared. So that just gives me 100 is equal to 25 plus x squared. That gives me x squared here is equal to 100 minus 25, which is 75. So that just gives me x here is the square root of 75. Square root 75. So if you just simplify that, you get x. Whoops! You get x here as 5 root 3. Okay, so now we know the height here. So all I've got to do now is find the area of this triangle here. So the area, oops, keep doing this. So the area of a triangle is just half the base times the height. So that's just going to be half the base, which is 10, and we now know that the height is 5 root 3. So when you do that, then you get half of 10 is 5, 5 times 5, 25 root 3. So that's unit squared here. So we have the area of one of these triangles, so now all we've got to do is find the area of 6 triangles. So that's just going to be 6 times 25 root 3. So when you work that out, you get 150 root 3 units squared. So that's the area of our hexagon. Give your answer in the form a root 3, where a is an element of n. So this is my a here, it is a natural number, and we have root 3 here. Okay, so that's it for question 12 and indeed paper 2.